In 2024, we learned how to talk to AI. In 2025, we learned how to prompt it. But in 26, well, we stopped using AI and we've started working with it. Today, we're talking about AI agents, the tech that can actually run your business whilst you sleep. The term AI agent is everywhere right now, but for most business owners, it's just another piece of jargon. In this video, we're going to cover exactly what an agent is, how it differs from the ChatGPT that you know, and why 2026 is the year this technology is non-negotiable for small businesses and sole traders. Stick around until the end because I'm going to show you why it is definitely not too late to get started and how it actually might be easier to jump in now than it was 2 years ago. To understand an agent, we first have to look at what an AI actually is. The tech that we've all come to know as AI is actually called a large language model, or LLM. Think of the LLM as the brain in a jar. It's incredibly smart, it's read the entire internet, and it can write either a classical poem or your entire business plan all within seconds. We've been using these brains for a few years now to summarize emails, brainstorm marketing ideas, and all sorts of other stuff. It's a linear process. You give the prompt, it gives an answer. End of conversation. It's a tool, like a hammer. It hits, but only when you're the one who's swinging it. And be honest, how many browser tabs do you have open right now just for different AI tools and prompts? Drop a number down in the comments. The next evolution in AI usage is AI workflows. Rather than simply just giving an LLM a prompt, we are now creating a workflow utilizing different tools and data to get a more specific output. As an example, I could create a workflow that gives me the top news stories every morning in an email. This could start with an LLM prompt that scans news websites for the most viewed stories, and then summarizes them into digestible snippets. This then will be copied into an email and sent along to my email address every morning. To add to that workflow, we could even send the summaries to an AI voiceover tool and have the news spoken to us instead every morning. Sounds pretty complex and almost like an agent, but the key thing to remember here is that in order for this to work, we still need to give specific prompts to the LLMs to get the result that we actually want. It still requires a human input, and will only ever follow the specific workflow that we have outlined. To go back to our hammer analogy, the workflow is like a hammering machine. It can be automated and can give us a different and more specific result than just using a hammer, but it still needs a human to program it and tell it what to do. So what is it that makes an AI agent different? The key difference here is it can do everything that a workflow can do, but without the human input. Rather than specifically instructing the AI on exactly how to perform the task, as we did in the workflow example, instead we simply ask the AI agent to do a task, and it then figures out the best way to do it all on its own. The AI agent is able to do this because we give the agent reasoning, access to data and tools, and memory. Going back one final time to our hammer analogy, we've now instead employed someone to do the hammering for us, and it's up to them to figure out the best way to do that and to understand when their task is done. If it's not done, then it will do the task again. If this is all starting to click and you're starting to realize that your to-do list could actually be an agent do list, then give that like button a click. It helps the algorithm to find others who also need to start learning about AI agents. It's now 2026 and the landscape has shifted. We're seeing companies of one doing massive figures in revenue. How? Well, because they aren't solo entrepreneurs anymore. They are agent orchestrators. In 2026, agents are handling everything from customer support, and no, not just frequently asked questions, but actually processing calls, processing returns, checking shipping statuses, all that sort of stuff. You can have a social media AI agent that can research the trending topics that are currently happening across social media and then create and execute a social media plan that elevates your business. It can even help to manage your calendar, help to reschedule meetings and how things work across different time zones, and it can even detect when you're overbooked. And this is just the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to what AI agents can do. Now, there is a question that I do see every week. Did I miss the boat? And the answer very much is no. In fact, you're in a better position starting today than someone who started 2 years ago. Why is that? Because in the early days, you needed to be a coder or an expert to build this kind of agentic workflow. In 2026, the no-code revolution for agents is here. You can now build an AI agent workflow using natural language. The barrier to entry has never been lower, but the power of the tools involved has never been higher. So, to wrap it all up, LLMs are the brains, agents are the actual workers. Agents don't just talk, they actually do. And 2026 is the era of agentic workflow, where small businesses can really start to boost their competitiveness. So, what's your homework for today? Pick one task that you do every single day that takes you more than 20 minutes. That is your first candidate for an AI agent. If you want to see a step-by-step on how to actually start using AI agents without writing a single line of code, make sure to follow us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.